Be teaching you about the 12 most common mushrooms for beginner foragers. Foraging, especially for mushrooms, is hard and could even be dangerous if you're not informed well enough, but I hope that my guide will help improve that. So, what are my goals? My goals are for you to learn how to identify the edible, poisonous, and deadly mushrooms. Knowing 12 mushrooms is all you need, really. Before we jump into the mushrooms, there are some terms that you need to know. Mycorrhizal mushrooms are mushrooms that grow near trees and therefore can't be found without a tree nearby. If you have found an edible mycorrhizal mushroom and it is not growing near a tree, it is most likely that the mushroom is in fact not the mushroom that you're thinking of, but rather a dangerous look-alike. Saprotrophic mushrooms can be found anywhere, but many prefer dead trees. There's also another type that I forgot to put in the PowerPoint. They are called parasitic mushrooms and they grow on live trees. All right, number one, the Agaricus bisperus, aka the champignon, or the portobello, depending on the maturity. When the mushroom is young, the underside is not visible. They look like how you see them when you buy them at the store. The more mature version, the portobello, has dark gills and looks similar to the champignon. If you're unsure, it's always important, do a spore print. A spore print is many times not needed, but I encourage new foragers to do them. To do it, you just have to put the mushroom gills down and touching the paper and leave it there for a couple hours. Number two, the Boletus edulis, aka the porcini or the king bolete. It is a large mushroom with a light brown cap. The underside has spongy texture and the spore print is olive brown. Number three, the Pleurotus austriatus, aka the oyster mushroom. Named for its oyster-like shape, the cap is 2 to 30 centimeters. Most of the time they grow in overlapping clusters. Their caps are mostly white but can be brown sometimes. They have gills and the spore print is white. Number four, the Cantharellus siberius, aka the golden chanterelle. Shaped like a trumpet, it has false gills that run down the stem, wavy formation. The false gills are probably the most important identification part of the chanterelle. The spore print is yellow or cream colored and the stem is bare. Number five, the Morchella esculenta, one of the rarest and most delicious mushrooms on this list. The cap is conical or ovate, honeycomb-like pattern. Also, it is attached directly to the stem. Spore print is cream to yellow colored. The interesting thing about this mushroom is that the stem is completely bare and hollow inside. If you find a morel and it isn't hollow inside, that's most likely a false morel. Number six, the Latiparus, aka chicken of the woods. The underside is covered in tiny round pores. Important to note that it exclusively grows on dead or dying wood. The spore print is white to cream. The younger mushrooms are soft while the old ones are brittle. Both are edible, but people usually prefer the younger ones. Number seven is the Sporaces, aka the cauliflower of the woods. It has a very unique shape that you are very unlikely to misidentify. However, because of the folded cauliflower-like structure, there is a lot of grime inside, so if you find one, always place it in hot water for a bit and wash thoroughly. Now moving on onto the poisonous mushroom. The first poisonous mushroom is a mushroom that you probably recognize. It is the Amanita muscaria, aka the fly agaric. The cap is bright red with dots that can fall off as the mushroom matures. Stem has a ring and vulva. A vulva is basically the egg from which some mushrooms hatch, but unlike normal eggs, the eggshell is still on the mushroom. Look for the vulva at the bottom of the mushroom. Unless you're an expert forager, never eat any Amanita, as most of them are poisonous. Underside has gills. Another Amanita, the Amanita pantherina, aka the panther cap. Even more toxic than the muscaria. It can cause diarrhea, vomiting, and hyperhidrosis, which can lead to severe dehydration. Dark brown coloring, but the identification is similar due to them being from the same genus. It is slightly smaller though. Omphaliotus olearius, aka the jack-o'-lantern mushroom, often mistaken for a chanterelle. However, not only is this mushroom saprotrophic, it also doesn't have false gills, instead having true gills, so it's quite easy to identify. Fun fact, these also glow at night. Moving on onto the last section, the deadly mushrooms. The Amanita phalloides, aka the death cap, same identification as other Amanitas, has a sickly green cap, and the spore print is white. Colors of the cap may vary. This beautiful mushroom is the Amanita virosa, also known as the destroying angel. It is pure white. If you or your friend has eaten an Amanita virosa or the death cap, rush to a hospital immediately, as those mushrooms have amatoxins that damage DNA. Thank you for watching.